Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar. Today, we have Larry Vogel with Spring Valley, and today he's going to talk about fertilizers with Nutrilife. Throughout the session, if you have any questions, please fill out the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. Just move your mouse over and it'll appear. Take it away, Larry. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Hello, everyone. My name is Larry Vogel, and I'm with Spring Valley Fertilizers. I'll be talking with you today about the benefits of using Nutrilife on your fertilizers. First, I'd like to take a moment to briefly talk about Spring Valley. Spring Valley has been in business for almost 60 years. Spring Valley is a Wisconsin-based company with additional manufacturing facilities in Ohio and Pennsylvania. We ship products all across the world. Our main focus is the professional lawn care, golf, and sports turf markets. We have a reputation as a producer of quality fertilizer products while maintaining flexibility in regards to our customers' needs. Nutrilife is a fertilizer biocatalyst. Nutrilife is unique technology that is specifically formulated for use with dry fertilizer blends. Keep in mind, Nutrilife is very stable on fertilizer. One key benefit about Nutrilife is that it will increase nutrient uptake, and the second key benefit is that it will improve plant performance. In order to get these benefits, Nutrilife should be used with every regular fertilizer application. Here's a list of all the economic benefits that you will get from using fertilizers with Nutrilife. The biggest of these benefits is the larger root mass. A large root mass will allow the plant to grow more root tips and hairs, take in more nutrients more efficiently, and keep the plant healthier even during stressful times throughout the year like heat and drought. When you look at regular fertilizers, there are a couple things to consider. You can lose up to 50% of your nitrogen to volatilization, leaching, and denitrification. Phosphorus and potassium can get tied up in the soil and are not always available in a usable form to the plant. So you could lose 10 to 30% of your phosphorus and 20 to 60% of your potassium nutrients, depending on soil structure. We can add technology to increase the efficiency of the fertilizers. Mineralization is key to optimum utilization of the nutrients. We're always looking for ways to save money and get more out of our fertilizer products. Now you can achieve this by adding Nutrilife on your fertilizers. There are two ways to use Nutrilife on fertilizers when managing your budget. You can either lower your application or lower your analysis. If you lower your application rate, you will use 25 to 33% less bags and treat 33 to 40% more acres per truck. You will also reduce the number of trips back to the warehouse, which will save you time and money by using less gas and less downtime. If you lower your analysis, you will have a less cost per bag. However, you will still be going through the same amount of bags because you will still be using the same rate. For example, if you used a 30-0-10 and chose to lower your application rate by 30%, your fertilizer rate would be 2.8 pounds per thousand instead of 4 pounds per thousand. If you chose to lower your ratio by 30%, and used a 30-0-10, your new ratio would be a 20-0-7. You still would be applying the same amount per thousand as you were before. It would just be less nutrients per bag. I wanted to add these two pictures to give you a good idea of what the end result of using fertilizer with Nutrilife looks like. If you were shipping or selling plants in the spring, which one would you choose? The first picture on the left shows an increased root mass with no fertilizer versus regular fertilizer at 1 pound of nitrogen. As you can see, there is an increase in root mass just by using the regular fertilizer. The picture on the right shows an increase using fertilizer with Nutrilife at a reduced rate of 0.7 pounds of nitrogen. As you can see, by using Nutrilife, you will increase plant root mass and can use less fertilizer. This study was done at Auburn University to see how Nutrilife affected root mass on newly seeded tall fescue. Again, you can see a big increase in root mass by just using fertilizer with Nutrilife. Better root mass equals healthier turf, especially during dry periods. The picture on the right was fertilized at 0.7 pounds of nitrogen versus the regular fertilizer at the traditional 1 pound of nitrogen. As you can see, the picture on the right with Nutrilife has better color and looks without Nutrilife. As you can see, Nutrilife does affect plants in a positive way. Now let's look at the science behind Nutrilife. Nutrilife contains over 500 elements of biochemistry. This graph gives you a broad picture of how diverse the technology is. Keep in mind, this technology is not about microorganisms. Microorganisms don't survive the fertilizer blending process. The key to Nutrilife's success is that it is rich in biochemistry. This idea of biochemistry makes a lot of sense when you compare it to a biological that contains a lot of microorganisms, like composted chicken manure extract. When you look at the Petri dish on the left containing Nutrilife, you can see that there are not a lot of microorganisms, while the chicken manure extract on the right has a lot more microorganisms. People might equate the number of growing microorganisms to activity. High bacteria counts don't necessarily translate to high metabolic diversity. The plate above the Petri dish shows the metabolic activity or number of active compounds that are being produced by this biological. Now you can see that there's a lot more activity in the plate above the Nutrilife dish. Even though the Nutrilife Petri dish didn't contain a lot of microorganisms, it does have a lot of active compounds that are reacting, which gives the plant all the benefits like a bigger root mass, improved nutrient availability, increased uptake, and better overall health. Metabolic activity is the ability to metabolize a wide range of food sources and nutrients. If you look at the picture, you can see that we've got 95% metabolic activity from the Nutrilife versus only 39% metabolic activity with the other biological, even though the other biological has more microbial activity. Since Nutrilife has consistent performance in regards to metabolic activity, it makes the fertilizer nutrients more available to the plant, as well as building plant biomass. When you apply traditional dry fertilizers, there is less breakdown of the applied fertilizer and fewer nutrients taken up into the plant. I'm sure we would all like to see less fertilizer nutrients wasted and get more out of our fertilizers. Nutrilife improves this by accelerating the breakdown of fertilizer, making more nutrients available sooner, and allowing those nutrients to be able to be uptaken by the plant. Again, the key is consistency. There have been over 700 studies done using the Nutrilife biochemistry with consistent results. Now that you have an understanding about the product, I'd like to share a couple more studies with you. This study was done in 2009 at the University of Wisconsin. This study measured turfgrass quality. The study was done on both fertile and deficient land. Instead of using less fertilizer, the same amount of fertilizer was used, but the analysis was changed. As you can see, fertilizers with Nutrilife at the 20% and 40% reduction had about the same result as the regular fertilizer at a full pound of nitrogen. Using fertilizers with Nutrilife will also give you the same or better performance at that 25 to 30% reduced rate. This study was done in 2010 by the University of Wisconsin. The purpose of this study was to look at turf color. This study compared 3 products with a non-fertilized control. The first product was urea and 25% sulfur-coated urea at 1 pound per 1,000 rate. The second product was 100% sulfur-coated urea at a reduced 33% rate. The third product was urea and 25% sulfur-coated urea plus Nutrilife at a 33% reduced rate. As you can see, the urea plus 25% sulfur-coated urea with Nutrilife had the best color even at a reduced rate of 33% nitrogen. This again shows how the Nutrilife allows the plant to utilize the nutrients in the soil more efficiently. This study was done in 2011 by a major LCO in Florida. There are some counties in western Florida where there is a blackout period and you cannot apply any fertilizer from June 1st through September 30th. This is also a time of high heat and low moisture. This company found out that by using Nutrilife on their fertilizers, the plant increased nutrient uptake prior to the blackout period and retained more nitrogen after the blackout period. By using Nutrilife, the plant was more healthy and able to withstand the stressful periods of summer. This study was done at Auburn University. It looked at root and top growth in ryegrass. Again, by adding Nutrilife to your fertilizers, you can increase the root mass and improve the overall health of the plant. Thank you for listening to this presentation regarding Nutrilife on Spring Valley Fertilizers. If you have any questions, please contact your Tessman sales rep. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Larry. We appreciate your time this morning. If you have any questions, please email your sales rep or give them a call and we'll follow up with Larry and at a later time. Thank you for attending our webinar this morning.